Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to feature this facelifted Mazda CX-5. Actually, the Mazda CX-5 has been in our Malaysian market for quite some times now. So this particular generation is called the KF generation, which is launched many years back. But recently, Mazda Malaysia gives it a revised exterior and some improved spec for the Mazda CX-5 KF. Okay, so this particular variant in front of me right here is a 2.5 liter NA. Mazda CX-5 in Malaysia actually offers in many types of engine option. You have a base model start with a 2 liter NA. This is a 2.5 liter NA. There's also a diesel turbo engine, 2.2 liter diesel turbo, as well as the top of the range 2.5 liter turbo petrol. Today I'm going to feature the 2.5 liter NA. I'm going to show you a very detailed exterior, interior, as well as the engine about this facelifted Mazda CX-5. Okay, before we go through the exterior, let's start with the engine first. So this is Mazda's Skyactiv-G petrol engine, and as I mentioned, this is a 2.5 liter NA engine. So the power output I will put at the description below. Is actually adequate enough, and Mazda positioned this 2.5 liter NA as a mid-spec for the Mazda CX-5 lineup in Malaysia, because the base variant would be the 2 liter mid as well as a 2 liter high. Okay, so this 2.5 liter NA is considered a mid-spec, and the 2.5 liter turbo will be the top of the range with the all-wheel drive setup, whereas the 2.5 2 liter as well as a 2.2 diesel turbo would be only for front wheel drive. Okay, also it's paired with the Mazda legendary 6-speed automatic transmission, which is proven to be a very efficient transmission option. Okay, enough of the engine output, let's go through the exterior styling. You can actually very easy to tell the exterior difference between the facelifted CX-5 as well as the pre-facelift just by looking at the headlights right here. In a pre-facelift Mazda CX-5, there's only a one angel light kind of daytime running light across the entire car, because that is also considered the previous generation Mazda kind of design details. There's only a one angel daytime running lights. Whereas in the facelifted CX-5, they're now moving to a dual L-shaped LED daytime running light, which is also similar design like the BMW X3 facelift. So there's some resemblance of the design details of it. And there's also a adaptive LED projector headlights. Okay, so this headlight is actually rather high spec. And this being a 2.5 liter NA, you can see that this Mazda logo is actually laminated, which means that this comes with a lot of active safety features, including the adaptive cruise control. Unlike the pre-facelift Mazda CX-5, which has fog lights, now for the facelifted CX-5, they already ditched the front fog lights. Now it gives it a very clean look on the bumper section, but it still comes with front parking sensors, because this car is rather big, so you need front parking sensors for you to maneuver when parking or in a tight spots. So you can see that here there's a front camera, which means that this car comes fitted with a 360 front camera, and the grille is finished in a gloss black setup, which looks very stunning. And this chrome panel right here, this design is carried over from the pre-facelift Mazda CX-5, just that now it do not have a very long extension to the headlights. Now it's just a one U shape. This is a new generation of Mazda Soul in Motion design details. Okay, personally I quite like the front look of the facelift as well as the pre-facelift, because it doesn't give people a feel that this is already launched in market for a long time, because you can see that the new generation Honda CR-V has launched in the market and with a very refreshing look. But personally, in my opinion, I think that Mazda design is the most timeless design in terms of the Japanese rivals. Now let's look at the rims right here. For the 2.5 liter NA, 2.2 liter diesel turbo as well as 2.5 turbo, you get this dual-tone 90-inch rim, whereas in the 2 liter NA, you get a 70-inch 17-inch rim setup. So this comes fitted with Toyo Process R46 tires. Here is finished in 19-inch. Okay. The color combination of this trim actually makes the wheel looks a little bit small in my opinion, because you can see that the entire car profile is very huge, and as you can see the window lines right there is rather high up, so it actually gives you a very big car feel, although this is positioned as a C segment SUV like the Honda CR-V or the Peugeot 3008. And the suspension setup front will be the McPherson strut and the rear will be a multi-link. Okay, this is a very typical C segment SUV setup. And the side mirrors is mounted on the doors, and this being a 2.5 liter NA, you get the blind spot monitoring. And as you can see, the windows are finished in the combination of gloss black and chrome setup, which gives the side profile a bit more grand look. You can see the side profile, the wheelbase is very long. This is expected for a C segment SUV. And there's a keyless entry for the front doors, and it's a button type where you need to press to unlock and press to lock. So here's the rear look of the facelifted Mazda CX-5. Actually, if you're judging from the pre-facelift, there's nothing much has been changed except the taillight section right here. Now it goes to a 2 L-shaped kind of LED taillights. Compared to the pre-facelift, there's only one C shape on the side as well as the one LED stripes. This actually makes the back look like an eagle eye, very fierce. And this being a 2.5 liter NA, you get dual exhaust tips, which is finished in chrome. And the under bumper section also has some anti-scratch materials, which gives the car a bit more rugged design. And the rear wiper is mounted on the glass, and the third brake light is integrated in the rear spoiler. From the rear, you cannot see the differences between the specs of the CX-5 except the badge right there. It says 2.5. If it's a diesel turbo, here will be have a Skyactiv-G badge, and the turbo will be a red T badge on the sides. So judging from the proportion of this, nothing much has been changed for the exterior styling. Now we're going through the interior and show you what more has been changed for the Mazda CX-5 facelift. Alright, now let's check out the interior. So just open up the doors and you're greeted by this very nice leather seats finished in the mixture of black and orange stitchings. And for the 2.5 liter NA, you get front two seats, you get a power adjustment, just that for the driver's side you get the additional of the 2 sets of memory as well as the lumbar supports. Okay, now this is your usual positioning, your height and your seat back position. So here's the interior. Now let's get inside the car. Okay, now let's start with the doors right here. So the interior layout doesn't change much compared to the pre-facelift Mazda CX-5 KF. Okay, let's slowly go through the interior very detailedly. You can see that the door panels right here is finished in very nice leather wrapped soft touch material together with the black stitching. Okay, it's wrapped around across the upper part of the door panel, except the down part right here. This is our finish in hard plastic, but this part is finished in very soft, very plush leather wrap, which is very nice. And the door handle right here is finished in a silver coated plastic. Here you get electronic window adjustment, all gets automatic in both directions, and you get auto folding side mirrors, window lock. This is to adjust your side mirrors. Okay, it's a joystick type kind of adjustment. And one thing I want to complain is there's no central lock button for the CX-5. Even for the previous facelift, to lock the car you need to push this lock button. Okay, so it's rather old school in my opinion, but nonetheless It's not a big complaint. Now, this aircon vents right here, you get some silver coated materials, okay, which looks very nice to the touch. Down here, you get a auto start stop. Mazda calls it the I-stop system. This is the lane departure warning off, traction control off. This is to pop open the power boot, 360-degree camera. This is your front parking sensor activation. Down here, that is to pull your fuel cap. This is to pull your front bonnet. And like every Mazda, they follow what the Germans are doing, or European car. They're giving you a organ type pedal. This is a rare stuff where you do not see in any other Japanese car such as Honda or Toyota. Only Mazda does the organ type pedal for Japanese car. Or Lexus, but Lexus is marketed for a more premium bucket segment, but Mazda is more towards a usual family kind of segment. That is your left foot rest. And for the 2.5 liter NA, you get a digital LCD cluster on the center, whereas in the 2 liter base variant, you get 3 analog dials. So this is the same meter you can find in the Mazda 3, Mazda CX-30 as well. It's the steering. They are not using the new generation Mazda 3 kind of steering wheel. This is still carryover from the previous facelift Mazda CX-5. Just that now, in addition to the CX-5, you get the pedal shift, which you do not present in the pre-facelift CX-5. Here is your volume button. This to activate your voice command. This to swipe between different infos for the multi-information display at the center. Okay, this is your Bluetooth telephones, and this is your adaptive cruise control settings. This is to set the steering assist. This to set the distance. This to set the speed, and this is the cruise control. Okay, it's a pretty full spec car in my opinion. And the dashboard are wrapped in soft touch plastic, just that it doesn't have a head-up display. Okay, there's the center speakers right there. And for the center screen, in today's standard, you will see a lot of Mazda cars comes with very huge, like 10.25-inch touchscreen head unit. But this one still using the touchscreen which is carried over from the pre-facelift CX-5, but it comes with Android Auto and Apple CarPlay. So I think that they should improve this head unit to a slightly bigger to cater with the facelift, so that it gives the consumer a fresh look. And for the aircon vents right here, I like the design that is symmetrical. Okay, for those who have OCD may like this kind of design because it's finished in a symmetrical setup. And here's the hazard light. This is your push button starts. This to control your aircon. For the 2.5 liter NA variant, you get dual zone climate. Okay, this is the on and off, front and rear defrost, interior and exterior air circulation. Okay, and you get seat ventilation for both front seat, which is very nice. Here you get automatic mode, and this to sync, whereby two sides gets the same temperature setup. Down here you get a wireless charging. As you can see, this is to turn on, and a power outlet right here. Right here, this is the gear stock of the Mazda CX-5 facelift. It's carried over from Mazda CX-9, CX-8, CX-5, Mazda 3, Mazda 2, okay? All are using the same setup of this gear stock design. Just like in the upcoming CX-60, it will have an electronic gear shifter because that's a new generation product. Okay, and you have a manual mode. Down is upshift, up is downshift, okay? Follow what the BMW is doing. This is to activate your sport mode. Okay, it only has one driving mode, which is sport mode, and a normal mode. And this, you have some very subtle wood paneling kind of design, okay, and some chrome finishing. You open up the glove box. Very surprisingly, it has a covered with felt. This is very rare you see in a Japanese brand vehicle. Okay, so this means that Mazda is attention to this kind of small details, which some German car, the base variant, does not even come with a felt glove box, so I think this is a plus point for Mazda. This is the MZD Connect. Okay, Mazda has been doing it for a couple of years now, and it's a very mature system and very easy to use as well. You can use this to control your infotainment display or via a touch screen. So there's two ways to operate it, just like a BMW iDrive. Here you get an electronic parking brake and an auto hold. Here you get two cup holders, and there's no block through, so you can put your phones, you can put your keys here. At the central armrest right here, you get two layers of compartment. Up is to store some coins, down here is to store some more privacy item. And you get two USB port, and this is your SD card slot. And another power outlet to charge your device. And there's a hose right here to pass through your cables. And here's the seat upholstery. Okay, I'm 172 cm tall and I'm not that fat, so when I seated right here, I feel very comfortable. And the side bolster is not too intrusive, so it's rather comfortable. And this part right here also wrapped in soft touch, so you can rest your knees right here and you won't hit your leg. Just like down here, there's no any pass through, just like any Chinese made vehicle where you can put more items, but it's totally fine. Up here, there's a rear view mirror, a sunglass holder, reading light finished in LED, glove box, sun visor with a venting mirror with a light for both sides. Okay. So yeah, that's basically the interior of the front seat. Very much identical to the pre-facelift CX-5 KF with some minor upgrades in terms of the technology as well as some specs. Okay, now let's go through the back seat and show you the space. Okay, and the steering can be adjusted tilt and telescopic as expected. Now let's go to the back seat. Here's the back seats. So when you move to the back seat, you can immediately tell that the legroom is not so impressive like any other Mazda cars. The interior back seat space is not always their advantageous, but for my size, I still get about this much of legroom. Headroom is very adequate because this roof lining is not very low and it's finished in cream, so you won't feel claustrophobic sitting at the back seats. So windows, you get automatic with both directions, plastic coated metal door handles. Still, you get the same soft touch material for the back doors, which means that do not cut costs for the rear. Here you still get some cup holders, rear aircon vents right here, a front two seats pockets. Here's the interior from the back seat. Okay. Very traditional Mazda kind of design. Not very surprising, but everything is finished in a very high quality material and the fit and finish is okay. And one plus point for the Mazda CX-5 is the central armrest on the back seat, because not only it comes with cup holders without a pass-through and a slot for you to put your phones, it also comes with this opening compartment which comes with two USB 2.1 ampere to charge your device for the rear. And they also very attention to detail. They actually have some covered with felt design and a hose right here to pass through the cables to charge your phone, and you put your phone right here. So this armrest is got to be one of the best armrest design in my opinion. And the seat back, you can adjust it, but it's just very slight differences. So in this very slanted position, I think that is quite comfortable in my opinion. And the seat bench, I felt is a bit short length, but it still adequately supports my thigh. So for long journey trips, I think it's not an issue. Here you get a grip handle, and here you get two lights which is finished in LED, and as you can see, the roof lining is a bit hollow, expected from a Japanese made vehicle. Okay, visibility for the rear is rather okay because the windows is not too small. Now let's check out the boot. So the door opening, you can't expect like a Honda CR-V where it opens 90 degrees because as you can see, the proportion between the front door and the rear door is very short. So to pop open the boot, you just locate a lever underneath the Mazda logo. Another advantage for the CX-5 is Mazda actually gives you this kind of tonneau cover that goes with the tailgate, which means that if you want to take your items, right, the tonneau cover won't block your visibility, and you can always remove it if you don't need to. And the boot space is rather limited in my opinion because you don't expect it to perform like Honda CR-V because Honda CR-V has a very low boot loading. The CX-5 it still has a bit of height, which means that you need a bit of force to put your items to the boot. But nonetheless, down here you get a space saver spare tire and some tools and some storage space to store your items. And you can also fold down the rear seats by 40-20-40 just by operating a lever on each side. Okay, you pull this, it folds the middle ski hole. You pull this lever is to release the left seat, and this one is to release the right seat. And when you fold down the seats, right, it's actually full flat, so you can load your IKEA items with ease. And not many Japanese made vehicle comes with this lever from the boot for you to release the seat. So I think this is a very convenient features for them. So we just press this to lock the car, to close the tailgate. For the fuel cap, you need to locate a lever at the driver's side to open it because this is not operated in a button type. So this marks my detailed walk around session with this Mazda CX-5 2.5 facelift. So what do you think about this revised version of the Mazda CX-5? Because you can see that now there's a lot of Mazda CX-5 on the road now compared to many years ago, whereby the road is dominated by a Honda CR-V or even the Proton X70 due to the space or even price advantages. But I think that Mazda has its own specialities in terms of the ride and handling, the engine and transmission refinement, as well as the design. Because Mazda still retains the Kodo Soul Emotion design in their car's philosophy. And as a C-segment SUV, I think that Mazda has done quite a good job in packaging the Mazda CX-5. So this marks my walk around video of this Mazda CX-5 2.5 NA. If you have any question, you can comment down below and let me know what you think about this car. And I'll see you in my next video, and be sure to subscribe, like and share my videos. Cheers!